Here we are with the Garmin DriveSmart 76 once again. I'm going to apologize up front. There will be editing in this video. As a matter of fact, even on this screen I have to blur this out because I have to blur out my location because this is the internet. It's just how it goes. But this is a first for me. This is my first time showing a modern model with everything on, almost everything. I'll explain almost in just a second, but I've got the Bluetooth on, the phone connected, which has the Garmin Drive app stuff. That's what this little icon up here is for. The only thing not enabled, just because I just don't feel like messing with it, is Amazon Alexa. That's it. Other than that, this is what the whole thing looks like. What do you get when you have the Drive app connected? Well, all the phone stuff. So if you want to place calls, take calls, use this thing as a Bluetooth speaker and microphone. Yep, you can do all that. You also get fuel prices. Now I'm gonna have to put a big old blur screen on this one, but this is what this looks like. Okay, so your locations are on the left, and on the right side are the current prices and how far away those locations are. I believe red means a high price and or the higher price, and green means the lower price. Okay, and if I do it, if I hit this, I believe it'll show a map. I don't know if I can show it or not, but let me check. Okay, I cannot show that because it will show my location. Can't do that. But if you do hit that icon, it will show a map of where these gas stations are. You can do the weather stuff one of two ways. You can either tap the current temperature at the top on the Where To screen, or from apps you can do it from here. And bear in mind, you can move these around. So if I press and hold, I can do this, and then wherever I want it to drop, I just let go and it will stay there. So that's good. If I do weather, I do get a current forecast for the current location, and these can all be tapped. So if I do tomorrow, Sunday, yep, Sunday, deck 15, 2024, a high of 72 and a low of 63, chance of thunderstorms, chance of precipitation 50% with the sunrise and the sunset times. That's as detailed as it gets. If I do weather radar, and I know I'm gonna have to do an edit on this one, so let's go. Okay, so I moved the map over to Memphis, and you see the little spinny thing, it's loading. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's radar. So we've got some rain going, you can tell by the color legend down here. So that is a mixture of light, medium, and a little bit of some heavy rain in some spots. Now I know that the more I zoom in, it's not the highest of resolution. That's about as good as it, that's as high as I can zoom, most I can zoom. And you see a little pixelation here and there. The map's not pixelated, just the radar. That's as good as that gets. Also, for weather radar, oh, I forgot to show something else. There's a little play button down here. I think that will actually, it will. It will show, because now it turned into a stop button, which means it should load up the movement of the radar. Yes, it does. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, we only get 3. It's still pretty good. Okay. Stop. And then goes back to the most current, I believe. And by the way, how fast or slow this operates is not dependent on this but your phone. So if the data connectivity is not that good or a little spotty, then it may take a while or not work. So just letting you know that. And I do believe you can get the same information out of the Garmin Drive app anyway. So there's that. From this screen, we can also note that we can have alerts, road conditions. I can also add favorite cities, which basically means if I want to add different locations, and I don't get radar for those, I have to actually drag around the map to see radar. But if I want a forecast for the city, like say 400 miles away, 300 miles away, I can just add it here and just add it in, and then just tap it, and it will give me the forecast for that location. Now, as far as what else you can do with the phone connected to this, I think I've already mentioned this, but you can place calls, receive calls. You can get specific notifications if you want to. You can do the music player through here. I've never tried that. It's like I have no intention of doing that. I just don't want to. But you can do that as well. And as far as the rest of this unit is concerned, it's the same as pretty much any other Garmin that you've ever used, which is good. Now, as far as the voice commands are concerned, you just say OK followed by Garmin, and then just give a command. For example, OK Garmin, take me to the library.
Which result would you like?
Down 1. OK Garmin, cancel route.
Okay, route canceled.
So that is an example of how that works. The rest of this is more or less self-explanatory. You hit where to, and then if you want to type it out manually, you can search it here. Like for example, I have Target here, but if I do Guitar Center, he'll find it. For any one of those, I can go ahead and save as a favorite, rename it to whatever I want, and it will work. Another thing people may be interested in is seeing not only where they've been, which is from recent. That's one way of doing it. Another way is from settings, and then device. Now notice here it says travel history. That is available through apps, and then trip history, to where you can go and it will sort by date of where you've been and so on and so forth. And the reason that I showed the settings, device, and then travel history is this right here, because if you want to erase that, and you might periodically, reset, and you can clear travel history. Don't do delete data and reset settings. That'll reset the whole unit. But you can clear travel history. It says clear all travel, including trends, history, and trip log. Yes. Now it's gone. That's how to do that. Now, as far as other settings are concerned, we can go to settings and then to navigation. Okay. For this, you'll probably want to change your avoidances first. Like, I don't want to take tolls. I don't want to take ferries. I don't want to take carpool lanes. I don't want to take unpaved roads. Highways are okay. U-turns are not. That's fine. Save that. Your custom avoidances is where you can drag a box over an area of the map you do not want this to route you to, or you can just straight up add a road you want to avoid. You can do it from there. Environmental zones, I'm not exactly sure what Garmin qualifies as such. Probably something to do with parks and recreation areas, maybe wildlife preserves, things of that sort. You can set to avoid those if you want, or just have it ask you whenever you plot a route to say, oh, this will go through an environmental zone, do you want to avoid it or not? I just have it set to allow. The other section that you would probably be interested in is the driver assistance section, because this is where you can have driver alerts, which will show up right about where my finger is on the map while you're driving. It will give a little yellow thing that will show either animal crossing, construction zone, lane closure, railroad crossing, schools, or curves. The only ones that I am personally interested in are lane closures and construction zones. The rest of them I just leave unchecked. If you do not want any of those, you can select all and then select all again, and none will be selected. Or if you want everything, just select all. So I'm going to put it back the way I had it. Hit OK. The route preview is that on the right side of the screen, when you start a route, it will give you a small preview of what you're going to see on the route. That's all that means. Oh, yeah, I almost blew past that one. Reduced speed tone. This thing will give two tones, a little ding ding noise when the speed limit is about to decrease. And in addition to that, the speed is displayed at the bottom left. It will temporarily turn yellow so you also see it. And then it goes back to white afterwards. What brake planning is that this only applies on really long trips. So if I have everything just selected here, if I'm driving long highway trip, it will show services that this thinks you might be interested in. It's not ads, it's not anything like that. It's just says, oh, well, there's a gas station up here, or there's a restaurant up here, or something like that. The brake reminder is that I don't remember exactly. It's either half hour, 1 hour, 90 minutes, or 2 hours, where after a predetermined amount of time, this will ask you, it says, hey, you've been driving a long time. Do you want to take a break? That's all that means. I don't use any of that. So I say, okay. And let's see if there's anything else. Oh, in the traffic section, did I cover this already? I don't remember if I did. But you can have it manually or automatic for route adjustment. If it encounters traffic, I have mine set to automatic. And that's really the only part of that you'd probably be interested in. And you know what? That's about it, because in my other videos I have covered a whole lot more, especially with the DriveSmart 66. This is the 76, which is just a bigger version of the 66. So I think that covers everything, and this is probably going to be the last video you ever see of me with the phone stuff connected, because I can't stand using the phone with this thing. I just like using it as is. So DriveSmart 76. Enjoy.